Mr. Soft, won't you tell me why the world in which you're living is so strange? Oh, Mr. Soft, how come everything around you is so soft and rearranged?
Bite through the shell of a tree boar spearmint soft mint, and everything turns chewy and soft. They're crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
Yo, what's going down, Commanders? Hope everyone's doing fine today. We have got Sector Breach starting tonight, 1800 hours GMT. We will be live for that, but before I go any further, if you enjoy these event briefings that I do, can you give it a thumbs up on YouTube, just to give me an idea of where I am, because I'm not sure whether to do these or not. Anyway, without further ado, let's break it down. So it's featuring the legendary Scorcher. We have seen the videos for that. I will link the video that I got off of X that KicksEye posted a few days ago. I'll put it in the description. Legendary Scorcher upgrade tokens. They've kind of put a twist into these upgrade tokens to try to drain us of more money. I'll explain that a little bit later. You got the clinker armor, burning rubber even. I wanted to say rubble for some reason. Eruption rounds for tech for the legendary Scorcher. Starts again today, 1800 hours GMT. We will be live. Event ends on the 26th at 10 AM. I can't see my screen because it's not turned right. And bear with me, that's better. Ends August 26th at 10 AM PDT. Stores closes on the 27th, again 10 AM PDT. Here's the legendary Scorcher. We should all know about this by now. It's been doing the rounds for the last week or so. Description: the Scorcher rolls into combat like a wave of magma down a sheer slope, engulfing everything in its path. It fires mortar shells from its magazine in a fan-shaped arc of explosions that inspire shock and awe in even the most still-nerved opponent. That's a better readout than the last couple anyway. Faction legendary PvP. Type heavy vehicle. Weapons magma mortar. Targets ground, damage type fire. This magma mortar bullshit, they just might just say fire at this point. Magma mortar doesn't mean nothing to the players. It kind of, from what I've seen, it doesn't do any damage to actual units or vehicles, but it burns buildings quick. Targets ground, damage type fire. So it tells you exactly what it is. They had to put a spin on it though. Magma mortar. Size is 340. Hit points or health points at level 1 is 100,000. Hit points or health points at max level is 180,000. DPS at level 1 is 1,333. In my opinion, fucking way too low. DPS at max level is 2,000. Again, way too low. Stupid DPS numbers. Max speed, but you can't rely on... This is the problem with this. You can't rely on KicksEye to give us the proper readout of these units, because I've got a feeling that they do more damage to buildings than they do to vehicles. So that gives it two separate DPSs right there and then. I've got a feeling buildings are going to get melted until we get to the CC update, which then buildings will be too strong for this unit and it'll be a natural nerf for the Scorcher. And albeit it might be very short-lived, this unit, by the way, guys, because the CC, they said, is coming September. Anyway, max speed is 3, minimum range is 250, so it's got a minimum. Max range is 550, which isn't very much. It's a 200 range difference between minimum and maximum. Splash is 50. Talents, level 1, Magna Mortar fires shells in a broad arc. 75% reduced damage from fire projectiles. 300 flat damage reduction. I'm glad they're bringing this flat damage reduction back. That's something I'm happy about. Level 10, armor up. The legendary Scorcher takes 50% less damage for 5 seconds after the first time damage is taken. Right, this is something you got to watch out for, guys. This is something KicksEye do time and time again. Is what they do is they'll actually, when we get the units, we put them into our assault platoons. When we enter the base to attack the bases in Sector Breach to get these units or get more of these units, what KicksEye do is they make them go into the battle with a slight bit of damage, so we won't get this level 10 talent. And it's something that KicksEye do quite often, and it's a scam, it's a con. So keep an eye on that. for 5 seconds after taking damage for the first damage is taken. Immune to fire, napalm, and corrosion status. So we can't corrode them. Level 20, falling fire, calls down additional projectiles from the sky across the base. Now, this is the video that I posted 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. It was Kickstarter showcasing the level 20 talent. The actual mortars falling out of the sky don't do a great deal of damage, and the units have to be firing for the mortars to drop from the sky. Their damage is very low from these mortars, but the actual units damage to buildings is quite strong, it's quite high. And it doesn't say, this is something else that you've got to look at. And I'm going to put this tip right into your head right now. It doesn't say immune to turncoat. It doesn't say immune to dragon's teeth. So I'm guessing, and it doesn't say immune to Chronos or slow effect, slow-mo, or what's the other one? There's 3 effects that do the same thing. I can't think what it's called. But it doesn't say any of that. So you've got to look at your base and look at what you can use in retaliation to slow these units down and possibly stop them. I think these are going to be used in conjunction with the Humvees, being the Humvees a high priority. So you'd shove a Humvee in and then a handful of these in behind, or 2 Humvees in and a handful of these behind, and just try to pick off as much of the base as you can, while the Humvees are taking the brunt of the damage. So yeah, that's something that I did look into. So it might bring into play the low wire dragon's teeth again. It might bring into play the Chronos turret and anything else that slows things down. So keep an eye on that one, guys. Also, the Chronos rocket, the rocket in the rocket silo might come in useful again. Mission description. Shark's cloning technology has been used on player bases, creating rogue player bases, and it's up to the sector commanders to push them out. Players will hit PvE bases that are a copy of player bases with the assault platoon in order to earn sector breach XP and sector breach store. Right, this is bullshit, because whoever's base they're copying to produce these PvE bases, copies of player bases, they're cheating. Because they've got like 15 fucking heavy turrets in some cases. So they're lying about this, and it's a scam. So basically they should wipe this out and just forget about that from now on. Because any player's base that's got 15 fucking heavy turrets in it is a cheat. Event structure. Use your units to play through the general set or the conqueror set to earn sector breach XP with the assault platoon option. Sets can be completed in any order and pay out a bonus XP cash. The Conqueror set will test your might, but will pay out more XP than the general set. Choose the set that best fits your power level. You can hit the targets multiple times, and wins will count towards future set completions. So you won't be penalised for hitting a target. Right, this is exactly what I do for this event. I go in and I will work out. I'll obviously put a video out for the 1, 2. I think it's 1, 2, 3 on the general, and then I'll put a video out for the 1 and 2 for the Conqueror. But what I do is I find a base and do that one base 10, 15, 20 times, because your muscle memory in how you're doing them bases should stay with you. If you go from one base to the next, I forget what I'm doing sometimes, and I get confused with what base I'm in. So I find it easier to just do it one base 15, 20, even 30 times, and then move on to the next one. That's a little tip that may help. Right, general track pays out 5,500 for 1 and 2, and 10,000 for base 3, and a completion bonus of 40,000. Conqueror set is 17,000 for bases 1 and 2. I thought there was only 2 bases in this, and 30,000 for base 3. So there is 3 bases in the Conqueror set. I thought there was only 2 for some reason. That's Skirmish. And the Conqueror set base completion is 100,000 XP bonus. New to the prize store, redemption limit XP cost. Right, this is where the Kickstarter fall down and they're scamming. We used to be able to get the blue units that we got in Sector Breach. We used to be able to get them to max the same level. They've now changed that, obviously, so they can force the coin. And to be honest with you, if I was running the company, I'd probably do the same thing. And let me have a mouthful of coffee. So you can buy 24 Scorchers at 77,500 a pop. You can only buy 10 upgrade tokens for the legendary Scorcher, which will take it to level 10. And if it's the same as the previous, not the previous sector breach, but the one before that, we got the 10 tokens, then we moved on to the next one and we could get them to 20. All this is designed to do is to try to get people to coin them up to whatever kicks I allow, 15 or 20 in this event. So it's going to cost them probably 8 to 1,000 coin to get them to max level. Clinker armor for the Scorcher is a one-time buy, 275,000. Burning rubber, one-time buy, 275,000, all to 275,000. And eruption rounds, again, 275,000. Use it or lose it, it'll be 24 hours long, so please be sure to redeem your prizes by 10 AM PDT on Wednesday, August 27th. Fucking can't say things this morning. Don't fucking hoard your XP. If something goes wrong, or you get fucking locked out of the game, or you're at work and you haven't spent your XP, you've done all that event for no reason. Spend your XP as you get it. Buy the units you want to buy as you get the XP. Clinker armor for the Scorcher. Decreases burst damage taken by 20%. Slot plating, function defense, cost 275,000. Burning rubber increases movement speed by 30%. Slot wheels, function mobility, cost 275,000. Eruption rounds, Scorcher tech again, increases splash size to 70. So it's only a 20 splash size increase. It's not adds 70 onto the 50, it increases it by 20. Slot magazine, function offensive, cost 275,000. By the way, the splash on these, from what I've seen, is immense. It's quite good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I thought there was a little bit more to that, if I'm honest, but they're obviously not. Anyway, that is the Sector Breach briefing. Hopefully, I've given you the information you need to move forward into this event, give you some good tips. Good luck, Commanders. Hopefully, I'll see you 1800 hours DMT for the live stream. Take care, all. Bye-bye.